The RTX 4070 has launched with an entry price of 60,000. It directly competes with the previous gen 4K gaming flagship, the RTX 3080. I'm here to tell you that the 3080 is probably a better piece of hardware, although 4070 will give you better performance. And a 4K gaming PC is now possible just under 1 lakh rupees. Now let me explain. Now let's start with the performance. The graphs are on your screen. Starting with 2K gaming, the 4070 steadily keeps up with the RTX 3080 for most titles. The 4070 Ti as well is not so far ahead, with an average difference of just about 10 FPS in some, not all. And when you enable ray tracing, the gap is bridged even more between the 4070 and the 3080. Although this is not the only option for this price range, the 4070 has a lot of competitors, even from Team Red. A surprising thing to note here is the 4070 has the exact same amount of CUDA cores that the RTX 3070 has, and yet we see about 25% of performance uplift, mainly due to the massive bump that we see in the clock speed and the L2 cache. But we still haven't reached this card's potential, because this generation leap isn't just the hardware, it's also in the software. Now with DLSS 3 and frame generation, the 4070 pulls ahead of every other card in segment. Now we know DLSS 3 isn't available for every game, but AI upscaling is inevitable. All new AAA games come with DLSS pre-installed, or rather pre-built, because there will be a point where we release the hard limits, so AI upscaling starts making sense to boost FPS, and in our opinion, it's probably a step in the right direction. But that's not the only benefit of DLSS 3. It also helps in reducing the load on your CPU, which means you could probably build a system under 1 lakh with the RTX 4070 and still be able to play all these games on 4K Ultra. To test this out, we used the i5 12400F, 6 cores and 16GB of DDR4. We could have gone for a better spec machine, but we didn't, mainly because of two reasons. We didn't want it to get more expensive. Some of you guys will be upgrading from older GPUs, so these benchmarks will be slightly more practical and closer to older CPU performance, hence the 12400F. Once we enable DLSS 3, we see the 4070 pulling ahead of the RTX 3080. Even the 3080 we tested was on a higher end CPU, because like we said, DLSS 3 removes the load from the CPU and helps the 4070 catch up. And I think this is huge. I mean, not more than 2 years ago, the only GPU you could fit in a 1 lakh budget was the RTX 2060, which couldn't even do 2K properly. And now we have a GPU that can do 4K Ultra on a mid-range build. So overall, we think the RTX 4070 is a really good option for people who are trying to do 4K gaming on a budget, or anyone who is still using the old 10 or 20 series cards and are looking to upgrade. So what do you think? Are you gonna go for the 4070? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time,